Welcome to Africa Media Australia. I'm Clyde Salumu Sharady, and today we focusing on the Zimbabwean community. I've got two gentlemen here, and I'll ask them to introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, Clyde. My name is Japhet, Ncube, and I'm the president of the Zimbabwean community in Victoria. If you like, I'm the chairman.
Good. What about yourself, gentlemen?
Hello, Clyde. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
It's great to be here. My name is Oliver Maboreke. Yes. I'm on the Zimbabwean community as well. I'm a community member. Yes. I've been there for quite a bit, yeah, and it's great to be here.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, tell us, gentlemen, how's life treating you in Australia?
Australia is quite a lovely country. It's beautiful, and the people here are quite helpful as well. I think I'm enjoying living in Australia.
All right, Oliver, you've been in Australia for a while. How's life treating you?
Life is pretty good. I think I enjoy Australia pretty much Victoria because when I came out here almost like 8.5 years ago, I came here as a student, finished my studies and decided to stay and work here. And I think Australia it's a great country. It's a land of opportunities. It's a land if you really put yourself out there and get your networking cards pretty well, you find that you can actually get ahead and you can actually become a great place to live in, particularly for our communities. Yes.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about yourselves. Give us a bit of a story how you came to Australia, and give more about your own experience since you've been here.
I think what I can say about myself is first of all, I'm proud to be Zimbabwean. I'm very proud to be Zimbabwean, although at times I'm not proud of probably the situation my country is in at the moment. But in saying that, I left Zimbabwe in 2004 in the height of the problems that the country had got into, and migrated as a skilled migrant to New Zealand. I got a job in New Zealand, and I got there and migrated with my family, and we got there and we established ourselves and had quite a good time in New Zealand. But there came a time when the recession came over. The economy in New Zealand was in a way affected, and that affected my job prosperity there. I lost my job, and I decided to move over to Australia to come and grab some more opportunities. It's quite a land of opportunities here. Every opportunity is there, so I came and grabbed my opportunity. I love it. I am enjoying it. My family loves it. They enjoy it.
All right. Oliver, a little bit about yourself, your journey to Australia.
As I said, as my chairperson here said, I'm really proud to be Zimbabwean, and I will never give anything not to be Zimbabwean. I'm really proud to be Zimbabwean, and every day, each and every time that I've been here for the last 8.5 years, I've really looked back at the journey that I've had from the time I was born, back in my raw home of Wonder Valley, to the time that I went to school and eventually came here. So I eventually came out here on a scholarship to study for my master's program, and decided to stay. And I've seen so many changes through that. I've had the opportunity to work in different government departments. I've had the opportunity to actually get networked. I've had the opportunity to actually even go back home as well and actually use the experience that I've got here to actually sort of trying to help my country, because that's one of my aims. As much as now I'm now Australian per se, but one of my wishes before this life ends is actually to give back what I've earned in terms of experience here in Australia to my home country in Zimbabwe.
Okay, that's very good. Now let's talk about the community. How big is the Zimbabwean community? In Victoria at least.
This is unconfirmed reports, but I have got very reliable sources that the community here in Victoria of Zimbabweans is about 14,000 Zimbabweans.
That's quite a lot.
It's not really confirmed, but I believe it is, and it's quite a lot of Zimbabweans in this very great state of Australia.
And I understand most of them come as skilled migrant, isn't it?
Yes, we have got most Zimbabweans coming here as skilled migrants. We have got Zimbabweans coming here as students. We have got as well Zimbabweans who came here as refugees, which is quite an insignificant number. Most people came here because they didn't like what was happening in their country, and they had skills that they thought they could come and use here just to get away from the problems at the time. And they have come here and built a home and found a home for themselves. So it's really a good place for us.
And what are some of the? I guess you mentioned there's students, skilled migrant. Is there any other groups of Zimbabwean who've come here apart from those two ones?
I think one of the groups that have also come here, they've actually got a significant number of sports persons that have actually come to Australia. And just for your own information, the captain who captained the Australian rugby team recently is actually Zimbabwean. So we've got a large population of not just black Zimbabweans, but white Zimbabweans as well that have actually come here to settle. Some of them actually come to settle here. They are doing farming. A lot of the farming that is happening here in the state of Victoria is actually being done by white Zimbabwean farmers from Zimbabwe. Yes,
yeah. I remember reading something that there's quite a large number of white Zimbabweans who left Zimbabwe and came to Australia, and they are doing farming in Queensland and Victoria and other places.
Yes, there's quite a variety of groups of Zimbabweans here. There is also business people that are doing business here in Victoria. There is also academics and the teachers, the scholars that are here in Victoria doing great jobs. Great people doing great wonders here in Victoria, representing Zimbabwe. And I think you can find every group in the Zimbabwean community.
And in your community, is it all mixed with black Zimbabweans and white Zimbabweans?
I think that area we've got a problem. Yes, we have got a very big problem there, in the sense that I think as Zimbabweans, black or white, we haven't really looked at ourselves as one people. We are probably divided by the color of our skin. We have looked at each other suspiciously. So we haven't really come together as a community of Zimbabweans, but rather you find probably whites still congregate as whites, black Zimbabweans still congregate as black Zimbabweans. And I think we still need to work a little bit more on that to try and make sure that we see beyond the color of the skin and we see the common goal that binds us, that it's the country that we come from and everything about it.
Okay, let's talk about some of the positive things that are happening in your communities.
I think one of the greatest things that has been happening is actually, because I was talking from a sports and recreation point of view, I'm actually a sports fanatic and a sports coach. I coach soccer. Zimbabweans are actually known for their sports in general. So one of the things that has happened over the past years that have developed through the Zimbabwean community system is actually we've got a very successful soccer team, community soccer team that has been participating in various sports competitions throughout Victoria and even on a national level. And it's called Zimvic Football Club. And this team has been doing so much so well that...
You're doing a bit of publicity there for your team.
Yeah, yes, we have to pump up publicity.
That's fine. We don't charge. We don't charge.
So Zimvic Sports Club, soccer club, has been doing very well. And it has been taking part in a national competition of Zimbabweans called the Zimpred competition, which has been held for the past 6 years. And on those past 6 years, it has actually won the tournament on 5 occasions.
Wow.
And and then we've actually got, as I said, a few Zimbabwean sports persons that have actually adopted Australian citizenship that are actually playing sport within the Australian sporting arena as well. So that's one of the biggest positive things.
Yes, yeah. Anything else that you can think of that, in that sort of regard?
Yes, the Zimbabwean community is doing great things for the community in particular and for the Australians as well. Like I said, there's academics here who are here doing wonderful things at universities, lecturing and even mentoring some students. And we have got also a group of Zimbabweans who are doing different things in their different respective areas. And the other thing that as a community that we have done, we have seen that we need to develop ourselves. We need to develop our kids. We need to maintain our culture. We need to make sure that we know who we are. We don't lose that identity. We have started a language school, which is doing great, teaching our children our language, teaching our children our culture, and trying to get that culture to live within us away from home, to try and create a little Zimbabwe away from Zimbabwe.
Is there any area where most Zimbabwean lives, or they're scattered all over the place?
Zimbabweans are everywhere. You will have a problem trying to get them together. They are all over Victoria. There is not really a particular place where you can find them. I think the Zimbabweans are quite free to like go and set up house wherever they want. They are not like trying to probably get support from each other, but they in those specific areas really try and support each other. But we have we are using the facilities that are available to us here in Victoria to communicate, to congregate, but giving ourselves that opportunity to exactly where we want.
Okay, and I guess we can also talk about some of the issues in your communities. Is there any? Because you seem to be doing quite well. Is there anything you can tell us?
Yes, there is very big issues that we are still trying to address. Like I said, as a community, we are trying to build a community for Zimbabweans away from Zimbabwe. We seem to be probably struggling to try to get every Zimbabwean on board, which is our goal, to get every Zimbabwean on board and see the bigger picture. But at the moment, I think we are still working on issues to try and get everybody on board, to try and see that, to show everybody that even if you have left Zimbabwe, nothing has changed on being who you are. So we are still trying to get everybody understand that it is very important to be who you are, to always maintain who you are. So we are working on trying to get people to keep their identity, people to know that we belong to each other. We need to stick by each other and always work together as a community. I think that's the area that we really need to work on.
Anything else you can think of, Oliver?
I think also one of the things I think which goes up from the culture and everything is basically the idea of actually being an integrated community as well, because we are home, we are here, we are home, but away from home. And sometimes it is very important that we share in the culture and we share in even the successes as well. And that can only happen when people get together as a community during community events and a community functions. So, and also, I think one of the things that I've been trying to do, maybe with a few professional Zimbabweans, is I try to help our young people as well to get mentorship and employment in different organizations. So, because that has been one of the issues as well, that, our young people, they come here, sometimes they seem to get lost because in the problems of challenges of coming to a new country. So we're trying to direct them and engage them with other services that can actually help them either in terms of employment or getting employment experience as well.
Okay.
In saying that as well, Clyde, I think we have to also acknowledge that Zimbabweans have tried and made every effort to meet and celebrate very important occasions. We have got two occasions that we celebrate every year. We have got the National Day dinner that we hold. We just held one on the 23rd of June. It was such a wonderful success, and people were there watching who we are when we sang our national anthem, which we are not really conversant with, but looking at each other there, standing there and singing the Zimbabwean national anthem and seeing our kids playing around and even celebrating those things that we believe in. And we've got also another occasion that we celebrate in December. That's the Christmas occasion, where it's an open park kind of celebration. It's those small events that bring people together, and we want to encourage every Zimbabwean to come to those occasions, bring ideas, and make sure the occasions it comes and supports those ideas. Because the main idea of these occasions is to try and make sure we stay a community that's ahead of all the problems that we might face.
Okay, we're just about to wrap it up. I'm just going to ask you your final message to your community out there, to the Australian community, or whatever you may have in mind.
My final message to my community is that we are in Australia. We are here to work for our families, but it doesn't change us who we are. And my message is, let us stand for those things that we believe in. I always love the man Martin Luther King Jr. When he addressed his congresses, most of the times, he puts up very strong quotations. And there's one that I really like. It says, "Our life begins to end the moment we become silent about the things that matter." So as Zimbabweans, if we start being silent about who we are or the things that matter to our kids, we are starting to kill that spirit of being Zimbabwean. And to the Australian community as well, I want to come back and tell them that we have come here not to take over, but we have come here to be a community with them. We want to learn from them. We want them to learn from us. We want them to know our culture. We don't want them to judge us according to what's happening in Zimbabwe, but we want them to appreciate what we are bringing into the community. Thank you.
Oliver?
Yeah, all I can say is that particularly with young people, that it is very important that they use the opportunity that they get here in Australia. Australia is actually a land where there are so many opportunities, educational opportunities, and experience in terms of gaining technical skills as well. So what I want to encourage our young people, particularly, is actually for them to actually utilize the opportunities while they're still there. And then also appeal, as our chairperson here said, that I appeal to all Zimbabweans, particularly in Victoria, to come and support what we are trying to do as a community, because without them we can never have a community. So it's very important that every Zimbabwean comes together and brings in the idea, so that we do things that they enjoy, we do things that we actually to make us go ahead as a community as well.